Mom.
Hello, I'm Christine Jorgensen.
How long do you intend to stay in Denmark?
2 to 3 weeks.
You are welcome.
When I left New York on the 1st of May, 1950, I had not the slightest idea where I would end up, who I would see, anything. Well, I said I was going to Denmark. I knew I was going to a new horizon. I mean, the fates were with me. Come on in. Miracles, I guess, still happen now and then. Step into my show. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my show, built with you in mind. Now knock and the door will open. Seek and you will find. Ask and you'll be given the key to this world of mine. I'll be waiting here with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Now knock and the door will open. Seek and you will find. Ask and you'll be given the key to this world of mine. I'll be waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Ladies and gentlemen, it's so wonderful to be back in Denmark again. It's hard to believe that it was 34 years ago that I arrived on the line of Stockholm to search for my future. And I found it here, in Denmark. And over these many, many years, with all the hysteria that occurred in 1952, and for a few years after that, I managed to survive it all and enjoy it too. Over the years, I've been in nightclubs. I've done some theater work. I did the Damien Evans role in Tom Jones. I've done television. I've written a book. My book was made into a film in 1969 and released in 1970. And now, 34 years later, I've come back to Denmark to visit my doctors, Dr. Hamborg and Dr. Sturrup, who are now retired gentlemen, and to relive some of the past 34 years. There was an article in the newspaper while I was on the high seas about Dr. Hamborg at the State Serum Institute and the work he was doing. So I called him and he said,
"Good day, welcome hertil."
I told him what I thought and felt, and he said, well, let's find out. So that started 2 years of research at the State Serum Institute. I probably was a bit nervous because there were too many people at that period who insisted that I was slightly crazy, but he didn't feel there was anything particularly strange about it. The first doctor I encountered in Europe ended up being the right doctor for me. As I wrote to Hamborg just a month or so ago, I said, Christian, we didn't start the sexual revolution, but I think we gave it a good kick in the pants. Oh, thank you. That's a wonderful memory. Here, man, put these here.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Sit you down there.
Oh, and so, Christian, we sat
yes.
right here.
Yes, we were sitting here.
34 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
I can't believe it the time. Would you have some photos?
I'll take this photo album with some old pictures. You may remember.
Oh, what wonderful pictures and memories. There you, Dr. Hambour,
Yes.
and I, and Dr. Stirrup,
Yes.
and we were discussing, I think mostly at that time, we were discussing all the headlines and the hysteria that was going on, for the simple reason is we didn't know how far and wide the subject was going to go. I climbed my highest mountain in the 50s here in Denmark to satisfy my life. It took years for it all to happen. But I was convinced that I was going to have dramatic moments at the beginning, and there was no dramatic moment. My mother sent over, I think, was it $10 a week to me. And she sent the film. I was here, and I felt I had never seen a good Denmark film. I did not know at the time that this was going to be the first color film made of Denmark. So I went all over Denmark, and it was really quite difficult at times because of the heaviness of the 16mm camera. I felt that this was going to be my livelihood when I returned to the United States. On a warm day, the cold water fountain. And I was there because there wasn't anybody else. So I started the camera and went and took my own picture, messy as it is. I didn't intend to confuse everything by being Christine on George's passport. I felt that I had to have that identity established. Once that was shifted, then I started dressing as Christine. I'm trying to think of childhood memories. I don't remember that many that were that important. If they were the hurt memories, I pushed them away and closed the door. I was born in New York City on the 30th of May, 1926. My mother was a very warm person, very comfortable, very understanding. My father was a very brilliant man, extremely brilliant when it came to scientific things. I contributed to the household. Mother always insisted upon that. You don't have to carry more than your load, but you must carry your load. I think the female aspect was extremely strong, and I don't think there's any point that you realize this. It's something that was there, and I didn't understand why. The war had ended, and contrary to people's belief, the military was extremely good for me because it was the first time I had to live in very close association with others. And I suddenly discovered everybody had a problem. I had relationships, but not close, not sexual relationships, but friendship relationships. I knew I was different from the most early part of my life. My mother would never admit it until, a matter of 3 or 4 months before she died. I said, I must know. And she smiled and she said, I always knew you were a different child. It's very important to know that you can function as a person, for we are not living on islands alone. So, consequently, I was convinced right from the beginning of Hambour's research what the ultimate outcome would be.
And in the course of the time, I could see the change in the feminine direction. The first sign was increase of the mammary glands. And the patient at that time had bald temples, but a hair grew out in the temples, and the hair growth was increased. At the same time, the whole body changed from the male to a female state.